Hi, welcome to $10 Quilt for November 2020.
Hi everybody, and we're so excited. This is the very first time we have a studio audience in to share $10 Quilt. So a very small studio audience, but if you'd like to be part of the studio audience another month, just let us know.
Absolutely. So we might be a little more laid back and personable this time. I don't know, when we have people, it's much easier to do when you don't than when you don't have
Yeah, when you got a smiling face looking back at you.
Yeah. Okay, so we have a lot of great stuff to tell you about today. We will talk about a few rulers, a book, some patterns, and a few other things. So we will get right to it, and Cynthia will start with her Creative Grids ruler.
My first Creative Grids ruler. So you'll see behind us a beautiful modern quilt, and I can't remember what the heck it's called. It is called City Stars, and you can see why. It's very modern, but you'll see in here, fundamentally, it's a log cabin block. Then there's another little quilt. This is a very different quilt. This is a very traditional little log cabin. And this one is enhanced with a little bit of embroidery down at the bottom. I'm going to come closer. Kelsey can tell me when I'm close enough. We're good? You can see there's a little embroidery on there. Again, this is doing a traditional log cabin block, and we are going to make little kits of this one. It is called Winter in the Cabin, which I just knocked all over the floor. Because it was so last minute, as things so often are, the kits aren't ready yet. So when you get our email, we'll have the kit price in there, and it will be on our website. So for both of these, they use a new Creative Grids ruler. It's called Log Cabin Trim Tool Duo. It's a 10-inch ruler, and it has markings on there to make two different types of log cabin blocks. Regular width log cabin strips, which are 1 inch, and skinny logs, which are a 1/2 inch. So this one uses skinny logs, so does this one actually. But this is a great ruler for making any kind of log cabin blocks. And you can use this ruler in any pattern that is using log cabin blocks. So it is absolutely awesome. This little pattern didn't call for the ruler, but it made it so slick. I enjoyed myself immensely, and I got it done in a day. So to begin with, Shannon's going to help me here. You take a precisely cut center square, and it tells you right on the ruler the size of square you will need for either regular log cabin strips or the narrow ones. For the regular ones, we use a 2.5 inch square. The skinny ones, we use a 1.5 inch square. And then you're going to cut a whole bunch of logs. Doesn't matter if they're exact. And you're going to piece them around in whatever color combination you want. Once you've got the first round pieced, you go to your log cabin ruler, and you can see that you have markings on here for cutting your skinny blocks, and they're numbered round 1, round 2, round 3, and so on up to round 18. So this, you can make a 12-inch log cabin block like we have in the one behind Shannon there. The regular standard rounds are marked exactly the same way: standard round 1, standard round 2, round 3, and all the way up to round 8. So again, you can make a 12-inch block. So when you're cutting the first round here, you're going to take the skinny round 1, and you're going to line up the square on the ruler with the square in the center of your first round of strips. And you can trim off the top there, flip the ruler over, line it up again with the center square, and trim off the other two, and you end up with a perfect round 1. Then we add on our strips in exactly the same way for round 2. Get our ruler and find our 2. They're marked right there, and we can line that up with the center. Our 2 lets us trim the second round off. Flip it over and trim off the other side, and we end up with the second round, and it's perfect. And then you add on the third strips, trim it down using our 3 on here, and you end up with a perfect third round of strips, and you just keep building. So you can make it as big or as little as you want. Mine only had 2 rounds, which is probably the reason it went kind of fast, but it's just an absolutely awesome ruler. And with all the Creative Grids, we've got our non-slip markings on the back. All the information's on the front of the ruler, and it comes with a great set of instructions here. That's got everything you need to know, and also YouTube video support, which is always really good. So Winter in the Cabin, the pattern is $14.99, and the kit price will be available shortly. City Stars is a cut loose press, so it's only $4.99, and you can use whatever colors you want in it, but I love that combination.
Very nice.
It's dazzling.
It's awesome.
Dazzling City Stars.
Dazzling. So I'm going to tell you about another ruler that was used to make this sample. It's called the Strippy Stars tool. It's just a little triangular one. It's kind of a funny shaped ruler, but
looks like a little Christmas tree in a pot.
It does look like a Christmas tree. I don't want to get too close without my mask. Can you see it now? Okay. So it does the other block that you see in the sample, the star block. It is called a floating star, I believe. I call it a V-block star, but I think the official term is floating star. So there's large ones and small ones, and of course the ruler will make all those different sizes. Just like all the other creative grids, it's got the non-slip grip on the back. So when you place it on the table, you can still move it around or on your fabric, but if you put a little bit of pressure, it doesn't move anywhere. It's got the markings and the information right on the ruler that you need to know what size to do your strips and your squares. And the instructions, of course, come very thorough, and they have a chart in there so you know what size. And it goes anywhere from 3.5 up to 14 inches, so it's a good variety in size. Yeah, that's a good size quilt block. So without further ado, I will show you how you can use your Strippy Star tool to make the V blocks, as I call them, if you could call that. So you start off with a square. This is a 4-inch square. I'm just gonna, you're going to stay flip around, yeah, okay. Exactly. So what you do is you put your ruler on top of the wrong side of your fabric, and you make a mark with a very thin fine pen or marking tool of some sort that does not iron off, because you're going to be ironing this. So you mark both sides, and you do that for 2 or 4, however many squares you need of this particular color. Because although these squares are the same size or same color, you can alternate your colors so that you have a variable color in your block, so that each star blade is a different color. And then you line up the line that you drew on your square. You eyeball it 1/4 inch with the strip. Then you sew your 1/4 inch seam, which is easy to do. Everyone does 1/4 inch, like, you know, in your sleeve, so that's not a problem. Then you carefully cut them apart. Once you get them cut apart, you need to open it up and press it, and you want to make sure that it goes to the end, that little tip is sticking off the end there. And then you flip it over and you rough cut away the excess of the strip fabric. And then you flip it over the square to the other side, the alternate one that you did not sew, and you repeat the same thing. You eyeball it 1/4 inch, you line up your line with 1/4 inch on the strip, and you sew straight down. Same thing, you open it, or sorry, you cut them apart, you open it and press, and then you just trim it to the size of the square that you need. I think that was, as I said, it was 4 or 4.5 inches unfinished. So it's so easy and so simple. Cool. It is very cool and easy to do. This is a really hard unit to make without some sort of specific ruler. I don't even know.
Our studio audience.
Yeah, they're sitting with us, absolutely. It's a hard one to do, but it's very effective. It's a beautiful block. It's just difficult without a ruler. And there are different rulers, but this one is really quite straightforward, and it gives you great information.
Very cool.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I have a new product to us from Fiskars. This is a set of lighted tweezers. And boy, I could have used this the other day when I was struggling to take out a sliver. So these are from Fiskars. They have an LED light in them. And the LED light has a little clip around it, which Shannon and I discovered. You have to remove this little plastic clip before it will work. So you're able to operate the tweezers really easily, but there's a little button on there that, see how bright that little light is. But it shines exactly where you need it. So whether you are taking out a sliver on your own self or someone else, or you're doing something, getting a thread out of your sewing machine, pulling on the thread, putting something through for a serger, there's all sorts of purposes. Even when you're picking out, sometimes to just grasp those little threads and pull them out. This is great because you can see exactly what you're doing. So these are absolutely lovely, and Fiskars is a very good name, so it's a good quality product. They are $26.99 less your 20%, and worth every penny.
Okay, next up we have I think it's a brand new
book. I like the front of the table better, apparently,
yeah,
and you prefer to be behind it.
I'm being like Jenny Doan in Missouri Star. She's always behind the table.
I said to Shannon, we can play store.
Or we can play Missouri Star Quilt.
Yes, well, no, we're not doing that.
No, we can't.
Okay,
so this is a brand new book. It's from Moda, so we know right off the top that it's awesome, because anything that's got Moda written on it, it's for me. Moda All-Stars Cakewalk.
This is nice.
So it is, the byline on the books is a carnival of quilts that begin with 10-inch layer cake squares. So this is a book for pre-cuts, or I guess you could probably use charms depending on the pattern. You'll not be able to see, even if I walk up to the camera, I'll see if we can get a few of the pictures of the quilts in the email so you can see them. They're absolutely spectacular. They've got something for everybody in here. I think there are 13 delightful quilts that you can make from the book, and it's all pre-cuts, and there's some that are very piecey and some that are very quick. So it's a wonderful book. It is $39.99. There you go.
Thank you. This is an adorable little pattern. This uses charm packs. So we're all about the pre-cuts today. This is called So What, and it's all thread spools. And ladies, I'm going to come a little closer, but I'll stay right in the middle of the room. So how's that, Kelsey? Good? So we saw this at Quilt Market last year. It seems a lifetime ago.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was Quilt Market last fall in Houston. Darn it. That's where we'd be now. But it's all little thread spools, and using strips from a charm pack to make up the colored part, and then just a bit of black or a dark fabric for the cotton spools. It's absolutely adorable. The size is 31 by 31, so it's a little wall hanging, but it just uses a little bit of fabric and then one charm pack. So it's absolutely awesome. The pattern is $14.99, and we left it wide open for you to choose whatever charm pack you like, so you can make it for yourself.
Before we talk about the last product, and we're just going to stick our secret word in so that it's not always at the end of the video. The secret word for the month of November is poppy. So you need to know poppy to be able to collect your pattern. The last product we have is called a die catcher. These are absolutely spectacular. I use them all the time, not just for my quilts, but for my clothes as well. So what you do is you put it in the wash machine with your clothing. Or if you've got a quilt that you think might run, or it doesn't even have to be a quilt, anything you think that the dye is going to run, pop this in and you'll see when you take it out, it's usually a different color. So they're absolutely spectacular. I would read what it says on the back, but I can't.
Because your arms aren't long enough.
You'll just have to take my word for it. They are awesome. There are 20 in here, I think. I can't even see that. And they're $9.99. It says use one die catcher for every 8 pounds of laundry or fabric that you have. You can even do it if you're doing fabric without having it sewn together and you want to catch all the excess in it. So it really works well for fabrics and for clothing.
This is our second shipment. The first one went basically the day we got it. It was crazy.
They're great.
But yes, it's been a long time coming because we couldn't get the previous incarnation. I think that's it.
Thank you so.
We have show and tell. We have show and tell because we have a studio audience. We're don our masks. So first of all, Marg Mount, come on up. You want to hold one side?
Here, please.
Oh, I love this fabric.
So,
that is beautiful.
Oh, nice job.
This is a pattern from Alaska. It's called something with glaciers. I forgot.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Great.
So a friend of mine gave me this a number of years ago and said, "Could you make this for me?" And I said, "Sure." And then I started cutting the fabrics at a quilt retreat, and it didn't go well. So I put it away for a few years. And then with this COVID thing, I thought, you know what, I've got to get at it because she keeps asking, "Do you still have my fabric?" So, anyway, I just have to put some. I finished it. Well, not quite. I have to put some crystals on it.
Oh.
And then I can ship it away. And she's not a quilter, so she won't see this video.
No kidding.
So.
If the pandemic has been good for anything, it's been for finishing projects.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, the back too. Look.
Ooh, this is a $10 quilt from last year, isn't it? Or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
It's huge.
Here.
Did you do the finishing kit or did you go your own?
No, I did my own.
Okay.
Woo!
I ended up making this for my son.
Nice. Can you see it?
Yep.
We were here, one $10 quilt, and Cynthia, you demonstrated how to make it.
Yeah.
And then put there's some old,
Seminole.
Seminoles.
piecing.
Oh,
and
that's a
then
great
we were at a
idea.
quilting retreat, and Sue Dimmel suggested
Yes.
I do the flying,
The
migrating.
migrating these.
Yes. And it's for my son.
That is
That
gorgeous.
is beautiful. And I saw that you had some piecing on the back,
Yes.
some
Yeah.
extra bits.
And
Oh.
Cynthia quilted it for me.
Nice job. That looks great. Love
That is awesome.
And I have one more.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there. Wait, there's more.
Well, this is exciting. This is
This
like
feels like normal. Yay!
Like I don't know if I should tell the whole story. Are you taping right now?
I am.
This is we do cancer quilts on Wednesday afternoons.
Okay.
So this is one of the ones. And like a McIntyre, she used to come.
Yeah.
This was fabric that she had, and she asked us to do a
Oh,
quilt
that's
out of it.
so nice.
But we did a big quilt, and we donated it to the Margaret Beam House
Right.
in Newmarket.
Right.
And then this was the leftovers.
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
lovely.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. That's so nice that you finished it up.
Yeah,
I don't
we
know.
remember Leica very well.
Oh, we do. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for coming.
Could have made my
Okay.
day. Actually. That was